Politicians insist they want police reform. They're going to do everything in their power to change the police, change the rules of the police departments, to hold them accountable for what they call injustices against criminals. Well, I'm going to give you an example of police reform that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And we're going to go back to Minneapolis, where we all know George Floyd was killed by Chauvin. The city council wants the police department abolished. They've wanted it abolished since that happened. And they've done everything they can to tie the hands of police so they can't do their job. But since they have started their police reform and a lot of police officers left the department, violent crime in Minneapolis has skyrocketed. And quite frankly, the politicians don't care. They don't fucking care. There's a group, an advocacy group called Yes for Minneapolis, that proposed an amendment to the city charter to remove the police department from the city charter. Because if they do that, then the mayor can effectively, no more police, we'll get rid of them. They're literally trying to change the city charter so that the powers that be can totally eliminate the police department. And what they want to replace it with is, let me see, I took some notes because this is so fucked up. They want to implement a new department that is basically public safety. It's not policing, okay? They're going to replace it with a public safety office, and the public safety office is going to have a comprehensive approach to public health. What is that going to do to combat crime in these communities? If you're not going to have cops on the street, you're going to have some public safety officers who knows what their qualifications are going to be. Are they going to be friends of the politicians? Hey, Tommy, you're looking for a night job. You can drive around in a city car and talk to criminals? No. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And people actually support this. They vote for these nitwits. They support this, and they call that police reform. That's not police reform. That is basically telling the criminals, look, we are going to dispose of the police department. We're going to abolish it. There's going to be no more cops. So feel free to run wild, rob people, kill people, rape people, break in people's houses, steal businesses, cars. It doesn't matter, because we're not going to have any police, so you criminals don't have to worry about it. Okay? This is so fucked up. And this has been going on since Floyd, everybody's fucking hero, the crackhead, since he was killed by Chauvin. And I'll throw this in there too. I always say this. The guy shouldn't have died. That was all wrong. It was fucked up. You know what I mean? He would have died anyway of a drug overdose on his own. He didn't need any help doing that. So I'll throw that out there. But these politicians just continue to show their true colors. They're so anti-police that they're going to do anything in their power to get rid of the police. And sometimes I think about this and I hope that it happens for one reason, so they can see it's going to be like a war zone. They won't even be able to leave their houses to go to their office because crime is going to run fucking rampant. They will have no protection, no safety, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These criminals are going to run free and do what they want because of these asshat politicians who want to vote for this shit. Now, I was reading something else in Philadelphia. Philadelphia has the highest murder rate per capita in the country. And again, it's because of the politicians. Excuse me. They blame the police for the way they interact with people in the communities for the uptick in violence in Philadelphia. The politicians are blaming the police, saying that basically the way they do their jobs is the reason that the murder rate has gone up and crime has gone up. 314 people have been killed in Philadelphia since January. 314. But how's it going to change? Who's going to change it? The political leaders that they have do not want to do the right thing and hire an abundance of police, put more police on the streets to fight this crime. It's not the police. It's not the way the police are doing their job that's the problem here. It's the way these elected officials are trying to change the way the job is done. And I'm pretty sure, if I had to take a guess, the majority of them have never been a police officer, don't have the balls to become a police officer, but they're gonna Monday morning quarterback the jobs that these men and women are doing day in and day out and blame them for the uptick in crime. Apparently there's the district attorney in Philadelphia is, since he was elected in 2017, has released many violent criminals to the streets, many violent criminals with prior gun charges, and they're out there doing it all over again because they know, hey, if we get caught again, this DA's going to let us go. He's on our side. He's supposed to be, like in Rhode Island, the Attorney General is the top law enforcement officer in the state. Yeah, that's a joke too. But this guy's supposed to be the top person for public safety. And he's letting criminals rule the roost, letting them out, and they're wreaking havoc on these communities. I don't know, when are people just going to wake up and see that the people they're voting for want to do nothing to stop crime and make their community safe? When are people going to wake up? This is happening not only in Minneapolis, not only in Philadelphia, it's happening in Rhode Island as well. The city of Providence, the crime is unbelievable. The police chief in Providence is a top-notch cop. But quite frankly, I believe his hands are tied by the public safety commissioner and the mayor, who are pro-criminal. They're suspending police officers for doing their job. Most recently, one officer was suspended. There was a melee between these two families. A lot of people involved, a lot of police involved. And they had to deploy pepper spray to get back some of these people up. And from what the body cam footage showed, this officer said the words, "Who wants more?" Basically trying to make these people stop and back up. He was suspended for 2 weeks without pay for using words. During the same incident, I didn't see this video because they're not releasing it. They're saying that a couple other officers were excessive force. They were using excessive force, and they were suspended also. And the most recent incident it was a high-speed chase late at night, early in the morning. The subjects in the car were pointing rifles at the officers. They chased them. I believe the car crashed. And there was a struggle. They were arrested. Turns out the guns were BB guns, regardless. Because you don't know it's a BB gun when you're trying to stop these people. These officers were suspended for excessive force, trying to take down juveniles out in the middle of the night, playing with guns, BB gun or not, it's a gun. They were suspended, and they are right now. And the Public Safety Commissioner in all his glory and the mayor are appalled. They're appalled by what they saw. This guy, this mayor, is pro-illegal immigrant, pro, I'll give you everything for free, pro, let's all hate the police and let crime rule. Okay? And his commissioner, who is basically his hand puppet, is a former colonel, a former police colonel, who basically sold his soul for a fat paycheck. So whatever the mayor says, this guy does. They're suspending cops left and right. And quite frankly, the chief can't do anything about it because he's overruled by these two clowns. And it's sad because the men and women of the Providence Police have their hands full in that city, especially with these two at the helm, because they're just letting criminals run wild. And it's a shame. And people like this need to be voted out of office. They should never serve any office anywhere ever again. And the mayor, quite frankly, is going to run for governor in Rhode Island. And I hate to say this, but this clown's got a shot at winning because, it's like, again, he's pro-illegal immigrant. He's pro, I'll give you everything for free. He's a clown. He should be in a circus. Just looking at him makes you want to laugh because he has no idea what he's doing. But what he is doing is destroying his city. He's destroying the police department, and he's letting his commissioner do it. So if this guy becomes governor, Rhode Island is fucked. We thought we were fucked with Gina. We are fucked if this guy becomes the governor in Rhode Island. Because he's going to bring the commissioner along with him. Then he'll have the power to destroy the whole state. But people love this shit. It seems that people are more interested in protecting criminals than they are than public safety. They prefer to let the criminals do what they do and then let them run free. And it's okay. It's okay. You know why? Because the ones who support this are the ones who are getting everything for free, are the ones who don't want to work, are the ones who want to sit home or go out and protest and bitch and whine and cry because they want to change. Well, the change they want is not change for good. It's change for mayhem. It's change for just let whatever happens. Whatever the police do, make sure they're held accountable for it. Don't let them do their job. And let's protect all these fucking criminals on the streets that are out doing whatever it is they want, and they're not held accountable. But when the police are arresting them, the police are being called on the carpet for excessive force or for saying words or for whatever other ridiculous things they can come up with. It's disgusting. It's happening all over this country. And I always say this, when are people going to wake up and realize that these people in office are in office for one thing, for their ego. They think they're important. They think they're doing good in their own mind, but what they're doing is they're making their communities unsafe, and they're ruining their cities and towns that they rule. And that's it. So from Minneapolis to Philly to Providence, Rhode Island, and probably every other state in this country, the police departments are getting destroyed. They're put under a microscope, and they're getting nitpicked for everything they do. And what does that do? That brings morale as low as it could ever be. These cops don't want to do their jobs because they're afraid they're going to get jammed up for doing their job. And that's it. So we'll just go on every day, right? We'll do our jobs, whatever we do, And we hope that something changes. And we hope that we're not victims of a crime, because if we are, the person who commits that crime is going to be off the hook. They're not going to do nothing with them. They'll go to court. One of these bleeding heart judges will slap them on the wrist. Oh, don't do that again. I have faith in you. You look like a good person. Yeah, so I'm going to give you a chance. And then they'll laugh at them. They'll walk out the door, and they'll do it all over again. And that's it. That's all I got. This is episode 39 of the No Limits podcast. Thanks for tuning in. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Hit the like button if you already didn't hit it, and hit the notification bell. You'll be notified when another one of my political rants or rant about something else comes on for you to see. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate you all. Hope you're healthy and safe. Have a great week. Take care.